It's Nolan. I'm feeding the beasts inside of me. These niggas can't see me lobotomy. Frequent commodity, please and I speak if you lie to me. Bitch, I'm a king, I'm a sovereignty. Niggas don't think that they honor me. I got receipts when they follow me. Peep the dichotomy. I'm just increasing my cream like the lottery. Body language, I can read like the library. I been composing like symphony. Simple, I shine like a Tiffany diamond. I dance on these beats like the Tiffany. Rappers try dissing me. That shit gon' tickle me. Switch up the topic. Buzzing in Italy, flow is enticing. They talking about Sicily. Riddle me this. None of these jokers can match on my focus. You soft as a sofa. You need to be shipped. Homie, I'm working. This shit is a shift. You niggas can't package my chips. No, they be salty, but water's abundant. This shit get redundant. Just jump off a cliff. Never been hustleable. Niggas pull sucker moves. Capping, they word is adjustable. Customer service. My niggas be rushing you. I get you injured. It's worth a deductible. Ayy. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I greatly appreciate those of y'all that tuned in to the first show of the day. We're now here for another. And I got to be honest with y'all, man. Keep it 100%, 1,000%, 100,000% honest with y'all. I really don't be looking for this Kendrick Lamar stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody out there to feel like I've turned into a Kendrick Lamar channel. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just doing updates on him. But honestly, every day, every couple hours, there's something notable happening about Kendrick Lamar and or Drake. And they're the two hottest names circulating in the game right now. You know what I'm saying? Anything they do, anything associated with them becomes news. These people creating video games become news because we hadn't seen this happening for other people's music. We got to be honest. And now we're seeing out in Kenya, there is literally a protest anthem that has been inspired by Not Like Us, which has inspired a rapper out in Kenya who's actually marching out there. His name is Sabi Wu. He decided to create a protest anthem opposing the Kenyan government tax bill using the Not Like Us instrumental. And it's not just because he liked the beat. It's because he literally was inspired by Kendrick's song. We got to talk about it. We're going to get into some other things during the show, so stay tuned if you want to get past that. But again, we have to address it all because it's becoming part of the news cycle, okay? So here I am on Rolling Stone. They say, how Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us helped young Kenyans lead a successful protest in their country. Okay? We're going to read the article. Like many African countries colonized in the 20th century, Kenya has struggled to find its diplomatic footing in the decades since gaining independence. The East African nation successfully broke away from British rule in 1962, and a small circle of affluent and influential Kenyans quickly took over. They banked on their connections to Western superpowers and the detrimental effects of colonialism to maintain their power. Though that strategy has worked, Kenya has yet to see a president that isn't connected to this circle. It hasn't been without its conflict. The nation has found itself in states of civil unrest as the divide between the country's governing bodies and its people continues to grow. Now it's become intolerable, and Kenyan Gen Zs have had enough. Last month, young Kenyans took to social media to object to the country's 2024 finance bill, which proposed increased taxes on an alarming amount of everyday items from tampons to bread. So they upping the taxes, tripling down, kind of what they doing to us out here, but we ain't doing nothing about it. They going and hitting the streets. Using the hashtag Reject Finance Bill 2024 to rally together, it was an unprecedented approach to activism for Kenyans that inspired both international attention and national unity, and birthed a viral protest song that samples Kendrick Lamar's diss track Not Like Us. Okay? Before I go any further, I want to give a big shout out to Sandra D for sending me this information earlier. I want to give credit to the insiders that come and actually provide me with information and things to go look into. Titled Reject Hayo Bill, the track by local rapper Sabi Wu, has become the theme of a movement calling to change for Kenyan government. In a quote, he says, "The song represents the sentiments of young Kenyans like myself who are living in tough economic times. Gen Z has always been disregarded, but we have shown that we have a voice through the mass protests that I have attended and supported." He literally has a music video that he shot in the midst of the protests. And these are some like real deal protests. I wish I could play the song, but being that it's on the Not Like Us remix, it is technically copyrighted content. I guess I could show y'all just a little bit of like what's going on in the music video so y'all can see how this protest really looks, because shit is real out there. I don't think we really take notice or speak enough on like international affairs, but shit is real. That's all I can say. Let me just pull up some of this video so y'all can see it. I'm gonna try to not play the audio though. All right, so if you just stay tuned up here in this little region right here, you'll see the music video. I'm about to play it. Again, we're not playing the song because I don't want no issue. I don't want no smoke with YouTube, because anything concerning Kendrick songs is subject to copyright, even the instrumentals at this point. But as you can see, that is the rapper Sami Wu, and we've got the protests going on, and shit is getting set on fire. He's out there rapping. He got somebody to film him out there, and you know, all I can really say is I wish them all the best. I hope that they're able to, you know, impact change out there in Kenya. Hopefully they don't allow this this tax bill to go through so that they're not continuing to be taken advantage of and getting price gouged on simple objects that everyday people need, you know. And hopefully with people such as myself covering this type of content, you know, maybe it'll inspire some of us out here to get our ass up off the couch and off the, you know what I mean, get my ass up out this goddamn studio to do something about you know, the price gouging that's going on American soil. Like, one, not just in terms of food and shelter, but definitely food and shelter, because goddamn, the cost of living is just steadily increasing, but the cost of the wages ain't really going up like that. You know what I'm saying? Even with me being a full-time content creator, YouTube has been slacking on their macking, you know what I mean? Slacking on their shellacking on how they paying motherfuckers. You know, I don't know if you've heard any other content creators talking about this shit, but the ad money is decreasing. So even I know some of y'all be complaining about the ads in the videos. The shit used to be a little bit more lucrative than it is today. So if you enjoy the entertainment, just got to sit through them so you can continue to be entertained. This how we get it out here. You know what I mean? But again, I want to give a big shout out to Sami Wu, give a big shout out to Kendrick Lamar, and big shout out to Kenya as a whole. Again, I hope that all of this energy works in their favor. Okay. Now, Wu says that the combative and accusatory nature of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us is what provided the perfect backdrop for his own rendition, representing how Kenyans actually feel about their government. He says, "I freestyled the chorus and first verse in under 15 minutes and put it up on social media, not really expecting anything." He said people resonated with it so much, so he completed and released the song after. So he had only did one verse and a chorus, real quick freestyle. He put it up and it had a firestorm effect, which inspired him to actually finish the song and put out this complete music video. Okay, he said the song has gone on to be used by thousands of people in their posts about and from the protests. These protests began a few weeks ago when young Kenyans, outraged by the finance bill and already struggling amid the country's deteriorating currency. Damn, I didn't know that. Deteriorating currency? Following the COVID-19 pandemic, marched to Nairobi's central business district for a maandamano. Okay, yeah, it's a Swahili word for a protest, as Kenya's President William Ruto and parliament members were gearing up to vote on the bill. Okay, so the government is the ones in control of this, passing the bill. Though protests were initially peaceful, tensions escalated quickly. Attendees grew in number and were met with violent retaliation at the hands of Kenyan police. Some protesters breached blockades and stormed parliament in an act eerily similar to the events of January 6, 2021 in the U.S. The Kenya Human Rights Commission announced 39 people were unalived and hundreds were either injured or tear gassed, including former President Barack Obama's sister, Dr. Ama Obama. Wow. Shit. So she got tear gassed, I think. Ain't that some shit? Oh yeah, Barack is from Kenya. Yeah, cause cause the fucking them racist motherfuckers used to say he was a Kenyan president. That shit was weird. Anyway. Honestly, it was scary. Israel Ruto, a young Kenyan who's been on the front line, says in an email, many among us, including myself, suffered from tear gas and rubber bullets inflicted by the police for exercising our constitutional rights. But with Wu's Reject Hio Bill as the soundtrack, the protests seemed to have worked. President Ruto, who was initially nonchalant about the backlash, eventually conceded and announced on June 27th that he would not sign the bill. Hey man, we talk about the power of music. We talk about the power of frequencies. We talk about the power of using that voice for something constructive. Come on, man. It was an extraordinary victory, but young Kenyans say the fight is not over. Haunted by the lives lost and the deeper issues rooted in Kenyan democracy, the country's Gen Z population now wants their President Ruto removed from office, and they're prepared to continue to speak out until their government reflects their needs and ideals. Mr. Wu says, in Kenya, politics has always been tribal. That was what always used to rally people, but as young people have chosen to be united and tribeless. This is what has empowered us. So damn, they've chosen to be tribeless. And you got to think, out here in America, we romanticize tribalism. You know what I'm saying? But over there, they saying, fuck that shit. We gotta get on rebel time damn near. Now, of course, over in Africa, the meaning of rebel is a little different. But you know what I mean. He says, this is really for the people, by the people. All this has caused a real change and has cemented a new era in Kenyan politics. According to Tom Osborne, CEO of the Shamiri Institute, a nonprofit organization that's committed to making mental health support accessible in Kenya and around Africa, any new era of politics in the country has to incorporate the nation's youth and champion efforts that empowered them after years of being neglected. Many young Kenyans feel they do not have a fair chance to actualize their life outcomes. He recommends investment in youth development, merit-based access to education and professional opportunities, and addressing the mental health crisis as necessary steps forward in bridging the gap between youth and government. Okay? Another quote, he says, for Gen Z, validation and acknowledgement of their struggles are crucial. It's not just about solving problems, it's about recognizing and empathizing with the hardships they face. The lack of this validation has intensified their feelings of alienation and neglect. Okay? And then they go and say a quote from Mr. Wu's song, Nani du tunavote, Nani si tunashagwa. He rapped in this defiance track. This is in their language, of course. The translation means, we're the ones who choose, we're the ones who vote. And I was going to skip the quote, but I actually wanted to attempt to say it because it's important, because it's in their native language. And even though I may have botched it a little bit, I wanted to try, you know what I mean? As a way to kind of connect with their culture, because we don't really get a lot of opportunities to do so just in the everyday, mundane, day-to-day struggle and shit that we go through here. We don't really be thinking about what they got going over there. So salute to all of them, you know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that y'all were able to mobilize and actually get your president to not support a bill that was going to be taking advantage of y'all. and I hope that fight continues and works in y'all favor as y'all are trying to get him out of office. All right. So salute to everybody over there in Kenya. All right. Now, that's not the only Not Like Us news. I told y'all about the video game. Many of us have played the video game multiple times already. Well, another developer, well, I'll just say an animator because I don't know if this is going to be made into a video game. But this animator came out and decided he wanted to take a crack. His name is Ali Graham. He wanted to take a crack at his own Not Like Us video game. Now, this version of the game is actually a reimagination of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us music video. So all of the scenes in the game are identical to what we witnessed in the music video. The outfits, everything. This nigga is advanced. I would love to see this get made into a game. I might play this motherfucker about every day. But we'll see. He has worked on other games for other artists, so it's not too far-fetched. But, I don't know, man. Kendrick probably not going to sanction none of this shit. But, again, let's take a stab at it, shall we? Just so y'all can know what I'm talking about. Oh, shit. Now the nigga going out to do the push-ups. Wow. What the hell going on, man? But shout out to Ali Graham. That shit was dope. I didn't know who you were before I saw this. I do now. And as I'm sitting here talking about this situation, I am following you on the Twitter in real time, brother. Great job. The way you recreated those scenes in that music video, that shit is fire. And again, this ain't the first time that he's done work for artists. So let's get into Uprocks. Shout out to Uprocks for this article. They released an article stating 10 more rap video games for fans of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us game. And then they go into some of the history of others that have done the same. Okay. So they state, apparently, no owls were harmed in the making of Kendrick Lamar's hilarious video game version of Not Like Us, the one we talked about the first time. But fans are having a blast bopping the birds in the whack-a-mole-esque browser game for the past few days. For what it's worth, the little whops that pop out when you make contact is an adorable touch, they say. Kendrick, however, isn't the only rapper who's had their music turned into a memorable digital mayhem, though he's actually the latest in a long line of rappers with games tied to their songs, a list that includes superstars like Future, Kanye West, and more. Sadly, some of the simple browser-based games have gone offline after their initial releases, since they were timed to help people promote specific projects. But over the years, there have been big studio-produced games that put fans in the shoes of their favorite MCs to do everything from shooting hoops to brawling in the streets. Here's a list of 10 or more rapper-approved video games to fix your feed for beats, rhymes, and extra lives. Now, the first one they say is 50 Cent's Bulletproof. Of course, this was a pretty big game. It wasn't big, like super popular, but if you was like, about 10 or 11 when 50 Cent first blew up, you probably had this game on PlayStation 2. We'll say that much. You might have had this motherfucker on PS2 or Xbox. Real shit. I never owned this game. I thought that shit was corny, but I was a little older. By the time the game came out, I was taking my G-Unit t-shirts off, But it was a third-person action shooter in the vein of genre classics like Max Payne. This PlayStation 2 era revenge story was widely panned for having bad gameplay. While it proved 50's early interest in expanding his G-Unit empire, it also betrayed a lack of care in how it did so. They slapped that motherfucker together, threw his face on there, threw some G-Unit chains on that bit, and they tried to go the Max Payne Grand Theft Auto route and then got them grand the fuck out of here. Okay, but I think it sold well. Next up on the list is Chance the Rapper with Super Me. This is a game I never heard nor seen before. They say the story behind this game's creation is more endearing than the game itself, thanks to its simple gameplay. However basic it is, though, it's cool that Chance worked with Chicago's public school system to encourage kids to learn how to code. Chance the Rapper's also always doing some philanthropic shit. So whether you like his music or not, I mean, he took his annual festival, because artists are launching their own annual festivals. He's got his Black Star Line festival that's out in Africa. So it's not even on American soil. He's going to the motherland to I think the money that comes from those events actually get poured into the community out there. So Chance is a good dude, man. I don't know about how he is in a relationship, but he seems to be a good dude when it comes to social activity. Next up is Doja Cat's website for Planet Her. Okay. So they say, while technically not a game per se, the 16-bit pixel art style for the interactive redesign of Doja's website circa Planet Her made it very game-like. That you also navigated a tiny avatar of Doja through a titular world makes it all the more ashamed that it's no longer accessible. So that was more so like an animation website thing. Wasn't necessarily something you could play. Next up on the list, we've got Earth Gang with Mirrorland. If y'all don't know who Earth Gang is, they're a duo signed to J. Cole's Dreamville label. Very talented artists from here in Atlanta. They're closely associated with JID. They all came up together. Very dope. They had their own game for their album called Mirrorland. Pixel artist Ali Graham, the same guy who did that video I just showed y'all, he did their game. And they said he had a lot of fun turning popular hip-hop moments into cute 8 to 16-bit animations on Instagram. Atlanta rap duo Earth Gang tapped him to make a full-blown side-scrolling adventure platformer for the release of their 2019 album Mirrorland. So it was very similar to the one that we just saw for Kendrick. Next up, we've got Future with I Won. They say probably the grossest game on the list, although its attitude towards women isn't exactly an outlier in either games design or hip-hop. This basic game is a bit like a ring toss. Only the targets are scantily clad digital women, and the rings are chain necklaces. So basically, from what I'm gathering, looking at this, it's women on a beach. And you're basically Future sitting here, and you're throwing chains at the women. And I guess you get points for landing it on their neck. Glad I never knew about that one. Then we've got Kanye West with Lil Ye Adventures. Although technically not officially endorsed by Kanye himself, this one is almost too good not to include. Another one of Graham's creations. This one is based on his first cartoon avatar, which was a childlike version of Kanye from when he was way less problematic. Another game, Metro Boomin with Heroes and Villains. This is a very limited access game, though. They say aside from the games no longer in circulation, this one may very well be the hardest to obtain. A promotional product hyping his 2022 album Heroes and Villains. This dungeon crawler was released in limited quantities as a physical Game Boy game. They say they can't speak to its quality despite having a copy because they have not actually owned a Game Boy since 2003. Well, ain't that about a buh? Also on the list is Nicki Minaj. She had a game called The Empire, which was very Sims-like. They say a lifestyle simulator might have seemed like a home run for Miss Minaj's first foray into mobile gaming, but its dated format was a relic of several outdated ideas about women in gaming and its developers' lazy assumptions that Nicki's audience would primarily be women. And again, it was just like Sims. You put outfits on, you could perform on stage and do songs and stuff like that. And, it was just about making a lifestyle. Last on the list, of course, Def Jam Vendetta, Fight for New York, and Icon. We already know those games. You know what I'm saying? Those were big time. A lot of us have been waiting to see if they're going to come out with another one. That would be nice. The last game is called Rap Jam Volume 1, and you got to be a super old head to know about this one. This was, as they say, an utterly legendary release, likely thrown together to compete with the popularity of the NBA Jam franchise. Rap Jam has the distinction of being the first game to bring together a collective of real-life rappers. 90s staples like Coolio, House of Pain, LL Cool J, Queen Latifah, and Yo-Yo for an unhinged basketball game that flouted the rules. It was developed by Motown during another one of their label's ill-fated attempts at branching out, and while its name might suggest that there were more of these, its unimpressive quality meant that it was also the last of its kind. So it was like a NBA Jam filled with rap characters. So you could use LL Cool J, Coolio, House of Pain, Queen Latifah, Yo-Yo, Sticky Fingers was also on the game. I'm actually going to go look it up and see what I can find in my own personal time, though, not with y'all. So, shout out to Ali Graham. And now I'm going to be on the lookout for more of your work, sir, because you dope. And shout out to Richie Branson for the game we talked about earlier, too, because that shit is fun. All right? We're going to keep the conversation rolling. We're getting off Kendrick news. Let's get into what the fuck? Let's get into Young Thug. I haven't been talking much about Young Thug and the YSL trial because what the hell am I really gonna say about it? But shit is getting real, you know what I'm saying? Because if y'all have been keeping up with this thing in any sort of capacity, you would know that the judge who was presiding over the case recently was recused for doing some backdoor operations, which Young Thug's lawyer said, hey, you damn near acting like part of the prosecution out here. You doing some backdoor conversations with witnesses and stuff. This is tampering. What the hell's going on? He filed a motion and successfully got the judge removed. They found a second judge, Miss Shakira Ingram, and as soon as they found her ass, she got recused from the case. Now let's get into this shit. Second judge recuses herself from YSL Young Thug RICO case, citing former court deputy's involvement, which means she's had former history with one or more people affiliated with the YSL trial. Okay? So she would probably be biased. The second judge assigned to the RICO trial involving Young Thug and the YSL Street Gang has recused herself from the case. In a written order issued this morning, Judge Shakira Ingram cited her court's former assigned deputy's allegations relating to a YSL defendant, Christian Epiner. Epiner's case was severed from the rest of the YSL defendants last year after it was alleged the deputy tried to sneak contraband to him in jail with the help of one of his family members. What you mean the deputy tried to sneak contraband to him? You mean the police were helping him get drugs in the jail? Hold on. Because remember, I ain't been keeping up with this shit, man. This is some fucking movie shit, man. This needs to be on Tubi ASAP. Netflix. So, there was $1 million bond set for a Fulton County deputy accused of trying to smuggle contraband to a defendant. Miss Akiba Stanley, black woman. Wow. She's a 31-year-old woman at the time. She may be 32 now. She was facing several felony charges, including hindering apprehension or punishment of a criminal and violation of oath by a public officer. She's accused of trying to bring in contraband to Christian Epiner with help from one of his family members. In addition to trying to smuggle contraband, another warrant claims that this woman had an inappropriate relationship with him. So she must have been... What the hell? You was in there giving that sloppy? What the hell's going on? I missed out on a lot of this. I saw somebody say this case was a clusterfuck recently, like a legal professional, but I ain't been keeping up. I tuned this shit out of my reality. They say Miss Stanley illegally contacted this man in jail using an unauthorized phone, and they exchanged messages via Instagram. The sheriff's office confirmed in a release that Miss Stanley visited his cell and communicated with him on an illegal phone. Messages were later found between the two. Stanley was also discovered to have worked with the APD from 2016 to 2018, but she was terminated at that time after investigations into 3 complaints were made regarding her in a 30-day span. Since then, she's been fired from the sheriff's office, calling her charges reckless actions that endanger the safety of citizens, staff, and employees at the Fulton County Courthouse. These are the following charges: conspiracy to commit a felony, hindering apprehension or punishment of a criminal, violation of oath by a public officer, and reckless conduct. Okay? So that's the case that this second judge had presided over, meaning she was a little bit too close to the situation. So there we have that. Okay. Furthermore, they state, referring to that episode, Judge Ingram wrote the deputy could be called as a witness in any future proceedings in this case, and she also might be called upon to assess this deputy's credibility or rule on matters related to her criminal prosecution. They say this may undermine the public's confidence in the impartiality of the proceedings. While the court does not regard the aforementioned situation as creating any actual bias for or against any party to this case, the court does view this as a matter that could cause a reasonable person to question the court's impartiality and reasonably give rise to the appearance of impropriety should the court remain on this case. Ingram had been randomly assigned to the case from among the full bench of Fulton County judges after an order by a third judge, Miss Rachel Krause, recusing Judge Earl Glanville from the RICO trial earlier this week. Wow. So now we've got a third judge. Miss Reese Whitaker is now the judge presiding over Young Thug YSL RICO case, and we'll see how long she lasts, because the last one couldn't last a fucking day. Okay. This assignment follows the recusal of Fulton County Superior Court Judge Shakira Ingram. Excuse me. What else do they have on this lady? Nothing. All right. So that's that. She's been a judge since 2017. And let's just hope that she does not end up being biased in the case. Y'all ain't really got shit on Young Thug. All the so-called bodies that I ain't gonna say so-called because niggas really did die. But y'all must not got no information leading back to him. Y'all made it seem like y'all had all this evidence and all of this stuff that y'all was finna put the city on notice. Like, these were the types of threats that were being put out there. The city is on notice. Anybody doing crime in the city of Atlanta, we will put a RICO on your ass. And RICO really ain't want nothing but dinner, because clearly he ain't came back to the house yet. What the fuck? Anyway, we'll see how this thing goes. This is a shit show. But we gonna keep the show rolling, not to get caught up in they shit. Okay? Now next up, let's get back to the music, shall we? Big Sean. He's got a new On the Radar freestyle out there. Big Sean out here trying to rap. Think he got a new album on the way. He's finally peeking his head out there. I guess it's finally safe for him to come outside in the midst of niggas throwing shots with Kendrick and Drake. He was putting freestyles out when that shit happened, and he said, God damn, they overshadow my shit. I'm not putting a motherfucking thing out till damn near August. Fuck it. Not a bad move, Sean. So now that he's got this new freestyle out, let's go ahead and play it. Now, I'm not going to show the video because copyright. YouTube really be. I mean, it's not YouTube. It's really whomever is owning the content that's claiming it. If I'm not able, if by the time you see this video, the audio is not there, I will go over the lyrics. So we'll break this shit down either way it go. Whether or not you can hear it, you just have to go look it up for yourself. So here you go.
Hey, one time for baby girl Leia, real Detroit legend. Yup. Hey, look. I had to switch the home team cause they committed treason. Eliante had a piece hit, I'm feeling seasick. Niggas looking for engagement like they got their knee bent. I got better things to do than find someone to beef with, or else I'm off the deep end. This game will take you either way, you know it's offense, defense. They say it's lonely at the top, well come and talk to me then. From where they quick to draw your watch like they trying to freehand. If your girl only knew I fly out this weekend. But you lucky cause I'd rather spend some time with Lil Man. I see myself in my son, it's like I'm tucking me in. Bitches in trouble, he already starting to break hearts and bursting bubbles. It's shooters that'll shoot you regardless of Metro trust you. Paid in full, nigga like me, love to hustle. They wanna disrupt you up to try to one-up you. Luckily I'm up to God's time, ain't no rush, fool. World in my hands, I'ma treat it like a Rubik's Cube. Maneuver through from the ground up, took it through the roof. Best advice I ever gave myself was just be true to you. I always knew that I was the best, I guess I gotta prove it too. Man, this industry is terrible, I can't even vouch. I seen grown men get matching tattoos for the clout. I had train wrecks and kick home records out of my house. I seen 8-figure checks at once hit my account. That showed me enough's a feeling, dog, it's not an amount. Cause I've been up and still hungry like I'm down for the count. Difference is I'm an activist and you drink activist. And I'm back acclimated and I'ma need my cut off toppers decapitated. Nigga, what the fuck you a pro at? Procrastinating? Shine, where the fuck you been at? Recalibrating. It's mixed in your inner circle, niggas is half hating. Fucking it up so long, dog, I ain't even light-winded. Niggas back acting up like when that strike ended. New ring flash before your eyes like your life ended. Niggas be complaining too much, quit acting light-skinned. But trust when I see your dark side, I got night vision. Going hard as Dr. Umar on white women. Oh God. Man, that's it, man. Better me than you. Yeah.
Better me than you. Is that the name of the album? Is that the project that's coming from Sean? I know he was up here doing some daddy dedication type shit recently. I wonder if that's the name of the album. Better me than you. Okay, so let's get to the lyrics, because again, depending on how this thing rolls out, they may let me keep it. If not, let's go over the lyrics. He says, I had to switch the home team because they committed treason. Now, that's a tough opening line, especially coming from Sean, because it's likely referring to the fact that he left good music within the last year or two. Him and Kanye were at odds. There was some commotion between the two of them. I never thought I would see the day that happened. We got Kanye out here saying that Sean was always like biting off of him or something. I think that was something he encouraged though when they were together. Big Sean says that Kanye was stealing his money. He never got none of his royalty money. There was a lump sum of millions of dollars that were supposed to have been sent over to Sean out of his record deal royalties for some odd reason. Well, I won't say odd reason. Kanye was his label head. So Def Jam had the money. They sent it to Kanye. Kanye had it. He was supposed to pass it off to Sean. And that pass off never happened, causing some problems. Big Sean paid money to audit the label. He found out that that money was intercepted. Okay, so on the heels of Sean revealing that, Kanye said that Big Sean was the worst thing he had ever done. Come the fuck on. So that opening line is layered. I had to switch the home team because they committed treason. Eliante, how the piece hit, I'm feeling seasick. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what the hell Eliante mean. If y'all know, let me know. I'm about to look this shit up. Okay, looks like Eliante is some type of fashion house, jewelry. Okay, Got it. Cool. Let's get back to it. Eliante had a piece head. I'm feeling seasick. Niggas looking for engagement like they got their knee bent. So you out here looking for engagement like you actually proposing, nigga. I got better things to do than find someone to beef with. Now, some people out there, I don't know why everything seems to like circulate back at Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick and Big Sean have squashed whatever confusion they had. This took place years ago. It wasn't that long ago, okay? It's dead. So for him to say, I got better things to do than find someone to beef with, that is just a rap line. Please stop speculating that he's dissing Kendrick. Big Sean went into a deep depression trying to keep up with Kendrick. They squashed that shit. He's been at peace with his life, with his relationship, with his child. Please stop trying to get Big Sean shot the fuck out of here. Because that's all that's going to happen if y'all keep amping that shit up. Anyway. Got better things to do than find someone to beef with, or else I'm off the deep end. This game will take you either way. You know it's offense, defense, right? So even if you ain't finding someone to beef with, the game gonna take you either way. It's offense, defense. You gotta get out there and play. They say it's lonely at the top. Well, come and talk to me then. If it's lonely at the top, somebody need to come up here and reach me, right? From where they quick to draw your watch like they trying to freehand. Draw your watch, take your shit. Like they trying to freehand. That's hard. If your girl only knew I fly out this weekend, of course he's rapping on Aaliyah's If Your Girl Only Knew song. But you lucky because I'd rather spend some time with Lil Man, as in his child. So if your girl only knew, I'd fly out this weekend, but you lucky because I'm spending time with my child. He said, I see myself and my son like it's like I'm tucking me in. I can relate to that shit because I be looking at my little man like, damn, bro, you look just like me, man. What the fuck? How does that happen? You are twin mode. He says, bitch, it's in trouble. He already starting to break hearts and bursting bubbles. It's shooters that'll shoot you regardless if Metro trusts you. So, of course, you know, if Metro don't trust you, I'm going to shoot you. It's some niggas that even if he do trust you, they going to light your ass up. Paid in full, nigga, like me, love to hustle. That's paid in full. You know, my nigga Ace. Nigga like me, it's a lot of hustle, man. If niggas is feeling a nigga like me, could sell it, B. If I lead a hustle, they still gonna love me, man. Mitch, not Ace. Hell no. They want to disrupt you. Others try to one-up you. So he's spitting. They want to disrupt you, as in get you off your shit. Others try to one-up you. So the ones that ain't trying to divert your attention, they're trying to outdo you in some form or fashion, even if they can't. Luckily, I'm up to God. It says, others try to one-up you. Luckily, I'm up to God's time. Ain't no rush, fool. So luckily, I'm up to God's time. None of y'all can determine what the fuck I need to be doing. World in my hands, I'm trying to treat it like a Rubik's Cube. Maneuver through from the ground up. Took it through the roof. Best advice I ever gave myself was just be true to you. And he's been on that wave for a minute. I always knew that I was the best. I guess I got to prove it too. So he already knew I'm good, but I still got to prove it to you niggas for some reason. Man, this industry is terrible. I can't even vouch. I seen grown men get matching tattoos for the clout. Interesting. That's a shot. So they say during the Yeezy Gap Shades rollout, Kanye was spotted getting matching tattoos with Lil Uzi and Steve Lacy, who modeled for the shades with the phrase, "We here forever," technically. I never knew about that. That is, niggas be talking about alpha beta. Hey, you know what I'm talking about. I ain't here to say it. He said, I seen grown men get matching tattoos for the clout. I had train wrecks and kicked some home wreckers out of my house. Hold on. Is he still with Janae? Is he still with Janae? I can't find anything that verifies that they are or not. I know the latest update, I think, was sometime around April when her tour kicked off. Big Sean came out on stage. They was very close together. I don't know if y'all have seen them together after that point, I don't know. His Instagram has been cleared, so only things that are on there are music related. And prior to music related things was the birth of his son. Janae has a lot more stuff on her IG, but he's not really present on there from what I can see, but I didn't scroll all the way. You know what I'm saying? But I find that line to be pretty interesting because people had tried to identify her as a home wrecker. You know what I'm saying? So I had train wrecks and kick home wreckers out of my house. He says, I seen 8-figure checks at once hit my account. That's shit, boy. Where you get that from? Lead me. Show me your ways. That show me enough. Some feeling, dog, it's not an amount. Cause I've been up and still hungry like I'm down for the count. Difference is I'm an activist and you drink activist. So I don't know you to be an activist, but he says he's an activist. You just drink activist, as in the lean. He says, and I'm back acclimated and I'm gonna need my cutoff top is decapitated. Need my cutoff top. I need my money off top is decapitated. What the fuck you up to? Well, hold up. What the fuck you a pro at? Procrastinating? Sean, where the fuck you been at? Recalibrating. It's mixed in your inner circle. Niggas is half hating. Fucked it up so long, dog. I ain't even light-winded. Niggas back acting up like when that strike ended. New ring flash before your eyes like your life ending. The light flash behind your eye. New ring flash. The niggas be complaining too much. Quit acting light-skinned. But trust, when I see your dark side, I got night vision. So when you bring your dark side out, nigga, I got the night vision goggles. I still see your bitch ass moving around. Going hard is Dr. Umar on white women. Oh God. And we know Dr. Umar go hard on white women. I mean, for Sean to even acknowledge that, because you know he be criticizing all the athletes and entertainers and rappers that get with white women. That's tough. It was a dope freestyle. It could have been better. But I think that's just the story of Big Sean's rap career. You know what I'm saying? He be rapping, but he always leaves you with a desire for, like, you could have went a little harder. That's just how I see it, though. But I like Sean a lot. I was one of the few motherfuckers that reported on Precision coming out. I fuck with Precision. I still listen to Precision. So please, don't make it seem like I don't fuck with the boy. Okay? And other music news, we've got Lakia coming out, and she's got a song with Bia, of all rappers. And of course, we know Bia's got a storied year behind her. She engaged in beef with Cardi B that got very volatile for a minute. Ever since that thing died down, nobody's really spoken her name too much. She was on the Bad Boy soundtrack, but that didn't move the needle. So we'll see if doing a collaboration with Lakia actually helps, because nobody's really checking for her neither. But Lakia has been dropping some fire snippets. I will give her that. And I like this song, actually, with her on it. I didn't really care for Bia's piece. It's not out yet, but I guess it's coming soon. Let's go ahead and run it if YouTube will allow us. Lakia sound good on that. I like the beat. I like her cadence. I like her delivery. I like the bars she's spitting on that motherfucker. Like, she's grown. She's gotten better. She's improved. I actually want to hear this song. I think the beginning piece with Bia on it actually is going to hinder, her presence on the song may hinder the record. I'll be looking for it. I don't know if it's dropping this week, this Friday, if it's coming out next week, you know what I mean? I don't know. But shout out to Lakia. I fuck with you. Shout out to QC doing their thing with JT. Hopefully we get a resurgence of QC at some point. I know we know they sold the company. They Coach K and P took a little bit of a back seat, but it looks like they're kind of getting back to their roots. So hopefully they can put Lakia in position to kind of grow and get her fan base up, because I think she's a talented rapper. And she's been sitting in the wings waiting on shit to happen for a long time, and I hope it can happen for her. You know what I mean? She was on that show, The Impact ATL or whatever. She had got in there with Sweetie. Sweetie gave her some information and some, encouragement and stuff like that. And if Sweetie's out here able still to do the fuck what she's doing and have a resurgence of her own, I think it's possible for Lakia. Okay? That's pretty much my show on this one. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. And I will see y'all on the next one. Much love and respect, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.